Welcome to The Coffee Grind with the Denton Chamber of Commerce, powered in part by Classic of Denton. The views and opinions expressed by the show hosts and their guests are those of the show host and guests, and not necessarily those of the sponsors, DentonRadio.com, or the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau. For more information, visit the Policies and Procedures page at DentonRadio.com.
Good morning, Denton. My name is Travis Veselka. I'm the Director of Communications and Marketing for the Denton Chamber of Commerce. And with me, as always, is my trusty co-host.
Good morning, Denton. My name is Randi Skinner. I serve on the Chamber Board of Directors, and as a member, I represent RS Consulting.
And we are here to keep you up to date with what's going on in the business community here in Denton, especially things with the Denton Chamber of Commerce. Yes. And as always, or as typical, we have a guest on today.
Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're the guests.
We throw it around.
We do what we want.
You never know what's coming next.
It's our show, sort of.
So today's special guest is Dana Lodge with the Convention and Visitors Bureau here in Denton.
Welcome, Dana.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So real briefly, if you want to give everybody a quick little intro to who you are and what you do.
So I am the Director of Sales for the Discover Denton. Mm-hmm. We're kind of starting to rebrand and lose Convention and Visitors Bureau, so you guys are the first to know.
Ooh,
excellent.
Yeah, insider information.
Absolutely.
You heard it here first.
Absolutely. Nobody else has been told. We are a destination marketing organization, and that makes so much more sense to folks. So we are starting to lean more towards that in our branding and less on the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
More fitting description.
More fitting description where people get it, because they're like, I don't get what that bureau does.
Right.
Pretty
What's
serious.
a bureau anyway?
It's pretty serious.
Sounds very important.
Yes. So yes, I am with Discover Denton. I am the Director of Sales, and we are responsible for bringing conferences and conventions and reunions and tour groups and everything else from A to Z into our city to enjoy everything that Denton has to offer, spend their money and leave it here, and then ask them to move on down the road.
Just leave it with us. We'll take care of it.
How long have you been with Discover Denton?
So I've been with them for 14 years, and obviously when the new Denton Convention Center opened, we certainly changed our strategies and started going after these really nice sized conventions and conferences, and it has just been just a game changer and keeps us on our toes.
So with the Convention and Visitors Center, I'm so looped into that thing. So with the Convention Center, we increased.
Go there too.
True that. With the Convention Center, we increased square footage in the size of how big a group could be attracted to Denton.
I mean, prior to the Convention Center, what was our cap in Denton?
It was very difficult for us to do a multi-day true conference for more than about 100 people, unless it was held on the UNT or TWU campus.
Sure.
Some with extra rooms and things.
Like the dorms
because they have breakout rooms. So really, we were very limited. And now we can do multi-day conferences for about 600, 700 people. They can do day events for up to 1,800, but multi-day conferences, you need to be able to move them from a meeting space to a lunch space to breakout rooms.
Or to shop on the square, perhaps.
Absolutely. Or enjoy concerts downtown or just everything that Denton has to offer. So, and most of the Easton's giving us Easton's giving us a raw convention center.
She's real into events.
So most of the Texas Association market, which is our strongest market, fits under that 600 person. So we're a viable location for just about most of the Texas meetings. So.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome for Denton. So speaking of the convention center,
we're
if
here.
You're
gonna plan a convention, there's lots of things you need.
There are lots of things you need. Even if it's, correct me if I'm wrong, even if it's not all the way to convention level, if it's not some giant event that's going to bring in, regional to international attendees, if this is a family reunion, or a meeting that's taking place in the office and you've got some execs coming in,
a business conference, a business lunch, as small or as large as you can dream.
Any type of meeting that's going to be taking place or group of people being brought into town, they can certainly reach out to Discover Denton.
Absolutely.
And there's an event happening at the end of this month on Halloween Day called Planner Zone.
Is it a costume welcome event?
I'm
just saying, like, it's Halloween. Like, some people are gonna go for it.
Yeah, I feel like some people will definitely go for it. I know some of our vendors are going to dress up. They're definitely going to be decorated. So
Yes.
we welcome that. Probably not any like full mass, but
We want to see who you are.
Yeah,
so
we want to be able
network
to
with
have
you.
some one-on-one conversations. So that's what the Planner Zone
Yes.
is all
Sure.
about. And it truly is. I'm so glad that you brought up that it doesn't have to be those big full-size conventions. I mean, all of us get tasked with plan the office holiday party.
Right.
Plan a girls retreat. Oh, by the way, you're in charge of the family reunion next year.
Right.
So those kinds of plans also are met at this particular trade show, and it's great for you to come and see what new caterers, venues,
experiences. Like, I mean, I know last year, I don't know if you're having them, but there was an escape room that you could have at your event.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're having some, like, did you say a sketch artist? was
We
coming?
do. We have Isidro who does the caricature sketches. He's actually going to be doing free sketches all day long during the Planner
holy cow,
Zone.
yeah.
So everybody can just get a free, fun caricature of themselves. We've got Richie Flo, which is a
All
magician.
right.
He is so awesome. Like, I'm not into magicians
Sure.
or magic
Yeah.
or sleight of hand. It just, I'm like, okay, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
fantastic. He just brings so much fun to the whole event, and I'm like just want him over on Saturday night to entertain.
Right.
I mean, he's
Hey, well,
just-
you could plan a dinner party and invite Richie Flo.
him. He is so great. But we also, have our tried and trues, which we couldn't have the trade show without, which is obviously our hoteliers and
Of course.
venues and caterers.
People have to stay somewhere.
Yes, and of course, 5-star.
With event rentals.
With event rentals is there with just all the kinds of things that anybody.
Table settings, linens,
it's-
decor.
Yes, they just go all out for this particular trade show to make sure people know what all they have, and
Sure.
their inventory grows every single year of things that people can rent. So they can see new things that they now that they have
They
available.
saw them a year ago. They've got new stuff to show you.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
So yeah.
So this event is going to be taking place Halloween Day. From what time until it closes?
So it's from 11 to 2. So even though it's on Halloween, don't let it scare you away that you can't be
This doesn't interfere.
scare you away that you're not going to be home in time to be with the kids or to greet
It's your lunch.
Trick-or-treaters.
yeah, it's
Stop
your
in for
lunch.
lunch.
Lots and lots of food always.
Food samples will be available for
Lots
free.
of food samples, but we're going to get everybody out of there and home with their kids on time so that they can still enjoy the holiday.
Pick them up from school, everything. Yep.
Absolutely. So 11 to 2, you can stay as long as you want. It's a come and go. Some people go through the trade show in 30 minutes. Some people take 3 hours. So
Sure.
it's just you make it be the event that you want it to
Right.
be.
I
They're
love,
there
like,
to be for you.
I love too being like it is samples, but like you truly can go and plan to just be full by the time you're gone. And planning events, food is such an important part of it. And the best way to know which caterer you want is to try everything they're offering. And so there's not very many times where you can get in a room with this many vendors,
Absolutely.
from food to hoteliers to entertainment, and be able just to walk around, grab the cards,
Yep.
and you'll have your office party or your holiday event or whatever booked by the time 2
Yeah.
o'clock rolls around. You book your event and you go hang out with your kids. It's easy.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's interesting because a lot of people, we know that they're a restaurant, but we don't realize that they also cater. And
Oh,
this
right.
is
Sure.
one of the, opportunities that they can, let people know that they also will cater. And yeah, you definitely do not leave the event hungry
No.
by any means.
I know I've also learned through this event about restaurants or places that you don't expect that have like side rooms.
Oh,
Where
right.
you could, like, I think of like Milpa, right? Like they have that entire bar area, but you can actually use that as an event space. And it holds, I mean, I think 75 to 100 people. Or like Chestnut Tree, I know they will hold like 75 people for your event if you work with her. So there's so many other places like that, and you learn about it.
Absolutely. And both of them are here this particular year showcasing something you may not be aware that they have. Like Chestnut Tree has a new beverage trailer.
Yeah.
So she's bringing her beverage trailer. She can cater, the alcohol for an event if you so desire that or need that. So she's got an adorable beverage trailer that she's bringing. This is something brand new that she's never exhibited before.
It's mobile.
It'll
it can serve beverages from it.
And I can't remember the name of it. It's named after her aunt, Aunt Winnie Bell. Is the name of the
that's
I'm
fun.
pretty sure, and I apologize, Suzanne, if that's not the name, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah.
Cute.
Oh, and your folks over at Discover Denton wanted to remind us it's not just food, but delicious desserts. And you can go to the website.
And you can see all the vendors that are there. We have over 60 signed up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're still accepting a few more. The deadline is this Friday for vendors to actually register. And we usually get in an incredible amount the last week. They're like, oh my gosh, I haven't registered, but we're already over 60. So I think we're going to have a full house for sure.
That's awesome.
And how much is it to have a booth?
It's $225 so it's affordable. We really want our local businesses to be able to showcase what they have to offer. So this is not a moneymaker for the Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's just a opportunity for businesses to really show the public what it is that they have to offer. Zach Glenn is wanting more Easton.
She's chilling right now. She might come on at the end of the show. She doesn't want to take away from the Planner Zone experience. So
She doesn't want to jump ahead on the agenda.
yes, she's on his schedule of events.
She's on it.
She's on at the end to ask our prepared fun question.
Okay. So I will just say one thing that I never want to go away on the Planner Zone, but we do have massive amounts of door prizes.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And
So
they're given away how frequently?
Yeah, they're constant. Actually, I will tell you a little secret if you're watching. When you get your welcome bag to walk into the trade show, on the bottom of the bag, it tells you whether or not you're a door prize winner.
Oh, wow.
What?
So
Inside or on the outside?
it's on the outside, on the bottom.
Okay.
So don't ask for a different bag and say, oh my gosh, I didn't get one.
Like, sorry, this isn't my bag.
So it is constant. There's over 75 door prizes. That's
amazing.
Yeah. So it's just one after another after another. And they all have at least a $50 value. And then, of course, we have a $250 grand prize drawing as well. So
that is
it's hard to walk away without being a winner.
I mean, just walking in the door, you might already have been a winner.
Exactly.
Holy moly.
So it's just a fun event and a chance to, like Randy said, check out the different foods and see what all Denton has to offer. People don't realize how much we have to offer.
Really
true.
is a Denton experience. Yeah.
So this is going to be taking place over at the Embassy Suites Convention Center side.
Yes.
And if you're not familiar, that's up in the Razor Ranch Shopping Center, and it's next to Andy B's. You can't miss it. It's the tallest building on the north side of town. So
And free to attend. Free.
that's right, and it's free
good.
to attend.
Yes, good reminder. And you don't need to register, right?
You don't need to register, but if you do go on Discover Denton, we have a pre-registration just so that your name tag is already printed for you, slapped on with your welcome bag.
It's kind of like a quick,
Yeah,
get
it's
the
like
fast track.
quick through registration makes it faster. So it's encouraged, but it's not necessary.
Awesome.
Good to know. Well, if there are any other details that you think of while we're...
Let us know.
Well, I'll
and
just
tell us where to go to get all the details right now.
So it's just discoverdenton.com, and it'll be plan an event.
Okay.
You'll see it under the menu.
You'll see it there.
Perfect. All right. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll have some events coming up that we'd like to run through in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
So on our chamber website, there is an events calendar that our members are able to contribute their events too, and we are happy to promote those events out to the rest of the membership.
And I just have to say, I don't think people take advantage of that enough,
They
because
don't.
we really would love to showcase any of our members that are having their, maybe there's something special celebrating a milestone. Maybe you're involved in some sort of organization and you're doing some sort of special happening.
Customer appreciation
Customer
events.
appreciation, workshops. I know I posted
Absolutely.
my workshop. So y'all, tell us more. We want to talk about your events.
So the other chamber members can hear about these things.
Yeah.
So first up, starting tomorrow at 5 p.m., we have our October membership mixer. This is going to be held over at Classic Chrysler Jeep Dodge Mazda.
Chili.
And,
Chili.
yes.
Chili.
And every year he has an employee, in memoriam of an employee, a chili cook-off. And so there's a tasting contest and all kinds of fun stuff. And everybody who attends gets to place a vote on the chili that they enjoyed while they were there. But there's also catered food, I think, from Outback. There will be
Live music.
Live music from Three Fools on Three Stools.
Yeah.
And beverages and
And
all
a
kinds
good
of fun
time
stuff.
had by all.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about your
Oh,
event?
yes. I utilized my, as a
did.
chamber member, I can post my events. So on Friday, which is this Friday, October 18th, from 4 to 6 over at Stoke, I'm hosting a workshop. And it's called Email Marketing That Doesn't Suck. So you have to register. I do have limited seats, but I do have a few left. And I would love to have any of our chamber members or non-members come hang out with me and talk about email marketing that doesn't suck.
It's still the, what is it, the number one way to reach your customers these
Yeah,
days?
it really is. And it's
Super important.
the cost for it is very minimal.
Minimal. Next up, we have Nature's Mercantile plus CBD store. They're having a ribbon cutting Friday at 4. This will be right off I-35, and it's next to like Earhart's Jewelers. Can't miss it. And
Then we have the second annual Harvest Festival. This is Saturday, October 19th from 10 to 2. It's over off of Brinker Road. It's a free event. And, I mean, it's a harvest festival, so you could kind of fill in the blanks. I'm sure there'll be games.
if you're looking for
some
something fall-like to
fun.
do,
I bet you there's pumpkins. How can you have a harvest festival without pumpkins, right? Like, I
that's
don't.
a
let's
great
see.
question.
I can't see if there's pumpkins, but I feel confident there's a pumpkin on the photo. They're gonna have a pumpkin.
There is a pumpkin on the photo.
There's gonna be pumpkins somewhere there.
Before we get through the end of the month, on Wednesday, October 23rd, we'll have our government relations meeting. This is a members-only meeting, but space is limited, and please register in advance. But we will be having Pat Smith from Serve Denton and other places in town. He's constantly doing something, but he will be discussing the City of Denton's bond package as part of the bond election on November 5th. There are 4 bond packages that have been presented to Dentonites to vote on, and he will go over and review all 4 of those to let everybody know what's in them and the effects of those.
Then we have Sunday, October 27th from 6 to 9 p.m. CASA of Denton County's Evening of Elegance. This is their gala. They still have seats available. If you go to denton-chamber.org/events, you can check out all of the details. It's going to be at Bizteca in Highland Village. So you know there's going to be some good food.
Chef Morris is over there.
Yes.
All right, next up on Tuesday, October 29th at 4 p.m. over at Steve's Wine Bar, Dream Vacations by D&D Travels is going to be having their ribbon cutting. They don't have a brick and mortar.
Sure.
And so they're going to do it over at Steve's Wine Bar.
It's a celebration.
It is a celebration. And I believe Diane said something about buying everyone their first glass of wine, but, don't quote me on that.
Well, now it's official. Now it has to happen, Diane. You've been called out.
But if anybody is interested in having someone plan their vacation on their behalf and, with minimal cost on your end, D&D Travel is a great opportunity to do so. And then last but not least, before the end of the month, on October 31st, we have Planner Zone happening starting at 11. So all of these events that are coming up in the next few months for y'all, if you'd like to go over to Planner Zone and find out what all kinds of options you have, this would be a great time to do so.
Yes.
All right, before we go and before we finalize
Oh,
all
no.
of this, we really do enjoy asking our prepared fun question, which we never
didn't
prepare
prepare
anybody
you
for.
but we're prepared. So that's part of
why it's
that's
called
why it's called prepared fun question. Yes.
So we like to ask either what
you
was your
choose one. You choose
Yeah.
which one
Okay.
you want to answer.
Either what was your first job, what's your favorite way of dentoning, or are you listening to any kind of podcast or audiobook that you want to tell
Or
everybody
reading
about?
a regular book.
Sure.
We just added in because he was asking about books, and I was like, I do more of like podcasts and audio, so
We're living in a future,
we're
so
living in a we very forward.
Well, last year I chose what is my favorite way of detoning, and
Yes.
we visited about the horse country, which
Sure.
is obviously still my favorite way of detoning. I'm very passionate about that. If anybody knows anything about me, so I will choose a different question
Okay.
today. I just had to get in the horse country. I couldn't sit here without that.
Which we learned last year sells out.
It
Yep.
sells
Sell
out. I believe March of 2020 is already sold out. November
Wow.
and December are already sold out for
Yeah.
this year. And
Yeah.
then I believe March of next year is already sold out. But April and May have seats. And really, I was going to answer the other question.
You can still answer it. You can still answer it.
So my first job, I worked for Town North Hardware.
Uh-huh.
And I was the person at the register.
Okay.
And I worked there for like 5 years. I do not work anywhere for a short time. So even as a teenager, I worked at the same place
Yep.
for like 5 years. I worked there all through.
Accruing benefits.
Absolutely. From $5 to $6 an hour. But actually, it was a great, great job. I had we had a large swimming pool section, so lots of swimming pool chemicals, and I think probably fried my brain cells. I don't know.
You're not a natural blonde, what?
Exactly.
Shocking.
But was just a really good family owned, and work ethic was taught, and
That's awesome.
yeah, I loved it, and worked my whole way through kind of the end of junior high all the way through high school, and kept in touch with all of those people for many, many, many years. So it was
awesome.
a great job.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Okay. Well,
Is that it?
I think that takes care of it.
That's
All right,
the
so
end.
that is the
But
end.
we do need to let y'all know that we have been doing Wednesdays since our
Oh, right.
beginning, but we will be moving the show to Thursday morning starting next week at 10 a.m. So same deal, same spiel. You can still watch us.
I love
on-
that. Same
yeah,
deal, same spiel.
You can still watch us through Facebook. You can still listen to us across multiple platforms. What else? See you next Thursday.
Yeah.
Is that
So
it?
you can follow and friend us on social media. You can reach out to us at denton-chamber.org.
And you can see Miss Easton with that pink
Yep.
bow.
Right.
So Easton won't be here next week, but she bids you adieu.
Indeed. All right.
Bye, y'all.
We'll see you next week.
Next Thursday, 10 a.m.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to thank our partners and sponsors who made this show possible. And now stick around for a word from all of us here at Discover Denton. Do you love live music? If so, make Denton, Texas your next vacation. Find more information at discoverdenton.com.